All right. Hey guys, it's Alicia and Kristy here. This is my first time doing a live, so if you are able to see us, we'll give you guys a second to kind of hop on. But if you guys are able to see us, just comment and let us know that you can see and hear me. And Kristy, just say something real quick and see if anybody. All right, I just got the notification that we are live, so hold on just a second here. Looks like we are. So we're just going to give a minute for everybody to get on. But I'm excited to do this. I have never done this before. Kristy, have you ever done a live before?
I haven't. It's my first time also.
Oh, we're newbies. You guys were rookies. You're going to have to be forgiving and patient with us because this is the first time either one of us have done this. And this is 2020, the year of trying new things, right?
That's right.
I know that we'll just talk for a second, Kristy. I know that this was your first week of homeschooling.
Yes, it was.
That was a new thing, right?
It was. 2020 is definitely all about trying new stuff.
How's that going?
Well, let's just say that day 3 was better than day 1.
See, it's getting better every day. Awesome. I'm just double checking here. What time is it? I'm all about staying on time and staying on task. So I'm just going to make sure, check a couple more logistical things to make sure we're working okay. And then we'll go ahead and kick it off.
All right. Sounds good.
Awesome. I don't know. Did Denise get on here yet? Denise, are you watching? Can't see if she's on there yet. Okay. He got an alert here. Hold on just a second. Here we go. All right. I think we're good. Yep. I'm going to mute this other system here real quick, and then we're going to get going. Okay. All right. Awesome. Hello, Facebook, YouTube, however you're watching us right now. Some of you may not have met me before or Kristy, so we're just going to take a quick moment and introduce ourselves and who we are and what we're doing and why you're tuning into us today. First of all, why you're tuning into us is because you probably saw a post on Facebook or saw somebody share that you may be having issues with your credit and you have put buying a home on hold. And the reason why I'm sharing with you today is because I have found a way with the help of this lovely lady here, in order for people that have some credit challenges to be able to still build a home actually. So my name is Alicia Garner and I am the broker here at Mainstream Realty Pros in Columbus, Ohio. I've been licensed since 2000 and I absolutely love everything to do about real estate. It's changed my way of life, my lifestyle. I just love this industry. And I have worked with Kristy before. She's with DR Horton, who used to be Westport, and maybe you can tell us a little bit about that, Kristy. But why don't you share with us a little bit about your background and how long you've been with DR Horton / Westport and just kind of what your passion is there.
Sure. My name is Kristy Reynolds-Rafiyq. I have also been in the industry since 2000. I started out working for a builder and then left and got a real estate license and started a real estate brokerage where I sold new construction homes almost exclusively. So I would take clients from one builder to the next and make those comparisons. During that time, I also got a loan officer license because I felt like helping people buy a home is one of the most important financial transactions of their life. And I wanted to be able to understand all aspects of it so I could help them get through the process. I have been at Westport Homes, who was recently bought out by DR Horton for 12 years and couldn't be more excited to be part of America's largest builder. DR Horton as a company helped 57,000 families own homes last year. They have a huge emphasis on the first-time home buyer and a whole program dedicated to helping people with less than perfect credit get into a new construction home.
And that's the part that we kind of, that I learned through you and kind of found out about this program. And so I'm one of those people, guys, I just like to cut to the chase. So we're just going to cut right to it. Sound good to you?
Sounds good.
All right. Well, you kind of gave a little bit of your background with the new build side, but why don't you share, just because everybody loves true stories,
Sure.
why don't you share one of the successes that you've worked with here recently and what you were able to do to help them?
Okay, sure. So over the years, I've helped thousands of families own homes, people that started out with less than perfect credit and just needed some direction during the course of the build process of how to get their credit scores in line so that they could buy. This one particular family started out in the 400s and within a 6-month build time ended up in the mid 700s at closing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so credit there's kind of a science behind it. And once you understand it, you can literally advise someone how to get from exactly where they're at to where they need to be. It's simply a matter of going back and taking a look at their total credit profile and going line by line and just identifying what they need to do to correct or adjust or fix each line of their credit to help them make those score improvements.
So just to reiterate what you just said, so they came to you with a credit score in the 400s?
Yes.
And you said in less than a year?
Less than a year. It was a 7-month build time. We got them from where they were at to the mid 700s at time for closing.
That's amazing. That really is amazing. Because, you guys know a lot of the first step that us real estate agents and brokers tell people is to get pre-approved. And so they'll contact a lender. And if they come to the lender and their credit score is in the 400s, they're just told no.
Exactly. And my motto is that it's never no, it's when. It's not a matter of if somebody can buy a home. It is simply a matter of when.
I love that.
And thank you. That when starts the day that I meet them for the first time. And we're going to get a copy of that credit report. And I'm going to help them identify what that path is to get them to where they need to be. To your point, what normally happens is someone makes an application for a loan and they're going to get an approval or a denial. And unfortunately, a lot of times when people get that denial, there's no follow-up. There's no next step. All they get told is no and come back and see me when your credit's better. But unfortunately for most people, if they have credit challenges, they don't understand or know how to make those corrections. They're in the position that they're in for a reason because they didn't understand what to do. Or
it costs them hundreds, if not thousands of dollars.
Oh, sure. Yeah. We can do a whole separate segment on these credit repair companies. That's not a path that I'm going to go into today. Anything that needs to be done to correct credit can be done for free. You don't need to pay somebody to do it. You just need to understand what needs to be done. And that's what I specialize in. I
love that. And let's just reiterate, right now is a great time to say this. This is not a credit repair program. In the sense of you aren't paying someone to send off disputes and things like that, right? I mean, this is not, and neither one of us are credit repair companies. Disclosure right there. But your program, it's very unique. And like I said, that's what's really intrigued me about it since we sat together, gosh, sometime during Corona. I don't remember exactly when it was, but
with our masks on.
What's that?
With our masks on.
Yeah, exactly. It might have even been before the mandated masks. That's how long ago it probably was. But that's what I like about your program is just the difference that it was compared to a lot of the other ones. And I've also heard of so many people, I don't want to say getting taken, but they had just lost a lot of money trying to do these other programs that just really didn't produce the results they were hoping for. And that's disheartening when you're already behind the 8 ball and now you're also out of that money too. It breaks them down to where they really lose all hope that they can do this. And so when you say it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, I just love that. I love that. So why don't you share, I mean, maybe this is a good time for me to share the other page that you wanted me to share, but why don't we talk about this program and what it is?
Okay. So the people that I've worked with for 20 years at previously at American Mortgage are now running the local branch of DHI Mortgage. And DHI Mortgage offers a program called the Home Buyers Club. So basically with the Home Buyers Club, they are giving you a step-by-step plan of action of exactly what you need to do to improve your credit score so that you can become a homeowner. You have a certified credit counselor who looks at your own individual situation and puts a plan together for you and walks you step by step through the entire process. They're there as your consultant through the whole course of time, no matter if it takes 1 month, 6 months, 12 months to get you to where you need to be.
Love it. And I have the website up here for people to kind of see. And we can share this link. I guess I can share this link with you guys in the comments. I can't do it right now because, like I said, it's my first time and I'm still learning how to just work the system. But so far, so good. I think we're doing all right. But yeah, I can share that link with you guys here in a few minutes. So what would you say is the average length of time that someone is in the program?
It is very individual and specific to that client. I've had people that only needed 30 days in, and I've had people that needed 18 months. The time frame is completely dictated by the content of the credit and then their financial resources and ability to address those things that I need to have addressed to improve the scores. I will tell you though that on average, 6 months is what it takes to get somebody from the start of the process to closing on a home. That is the average.
Yeah, that's awesome. And 6 months flies by like that.
It does.
That goes really quickly.
Your apartment company tends to start harassing you 6 months before that lease is up.
True.
So, yes. So I can typically help somebody avoid re-signing that next lease.
I love that. I would have never thought about that, but that's so true. So we kind of talked about this already. I'll go to my next question. Sure. But it was, are there any instances where you just can't help someone? I mean, are there instances where you just say it's not possible?
Not really. I've never had a situation where I just flat out had to tell somebody, no, you can never buy a home, because literally anybody can. It's just taking the steps to get there. Now, have there been situations where the extent of their credit damage and the amount of money that it was going to cost to repair it, that, they brought up the idea of, should I just file bankruptcy? And the truth of the matter is, with bankruptcy, you can buy a house 2 years after you're discharged. Mm-hmm. So even in the absolute worst case scenario where someone's credit is beyond repair, they don't have the financial resources to make the corrections that are necessary, and they elect to file a bankruptcy, they can literally buy a home within 2 years after filing.
Okay. So I really like the fact that that you guys give people options. You know what I mean? Like, you let them know, and honest options, not things that they can't do. Awesome. So what is the best way that someone can find out more about this program, and if it was something that would work for them? Or why don't you tell me, what's it look like? So when someone contacts you and they are interested in the program, what's next? What do they do?
Sure. I like to schedule a face-to-face appointment if at all possible. I know during these times, we've resorted to some phone calls and Zoom meetings if and when necessary, but I really like to get people in front of me because there's a lot of information. A lot of people learn visually, and so seeing it kind of written down on paper as we go helps people to follow along. In the first meeting, we're going to talk about your income and what debts you have on a monthly basis. And that's what's going to help us determine what price range of home that you could get approved for. Mm-hmm. The next step from there is we're going to complete an application, and the lender is going to get you a copy of your credit report. And the credit specialist is going to put a step-by-step plan of exactly what you need to do in order to get your scores in line to be able to qualify. They do that through a credit simulation. So they can look at the content of the credit and basically simulate, hey, if you paid off this collection, here's how that would impact your score. And they, again, do that line by line. They'll return that plan to us, and we'll sit down and review it. And from there, kind of identify what your time frame would be of how long it would take you to follow the plan that they've put in place for you.
Okay, so one thing that you said that was interesting is you said that the credit specialist, they can tell. So like they'll tell you if you do, I don't know, say pay down this card, it'll impact your score. Will they know exactly how many points your score is going to change, or like know around what impact that's going to have?
It's an estimation, but it's fairly accurate.
Wow, that's pretty motivating. Because I know sometimes when you're dealing with your credit, you're kind of hoping, you're just throwing things out there and saying, I hope this works. I hope this works. Yes. And I know Mark and I had a situation on our credit that we weren't aware of. Actually, it kind of came up by surprise, but it took his credit score down, like, I think it was almost 100 and some points. Yes. And we were like, oh my gosh. And he's always had like perfect credit. So it was devastating. But we thought that the best way to raise the scores was to pay off and close credit cards.
No, not at all.
We learned the hard way that actually takes your score down even more, and then it takes time for it to come back up. And so
there's so much misinformation out there.
There is. And what seems like the logical thing is not always the best.
Right.
And that's the part I think that gets people frustrated when they're going through this process, is they think, well, I should just pay everything off, when one thing that we were told is don't pay it off, pay it down below so much percentage of your credit line.
Correct.
And leave a balance on there for a while. And like, so we did that, and his score was back up in like 3 months.
Yes.
So, and just by that's all we did.
There's definitely a science behind it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like that you guys, you utilize that information to their benefit so that they can get the maximum increase for hopefully the minimum input, right? I mean,
agreed.
Keep that money in your pocket. You know what I'm saying? So when someone comes to meet with you, you said that you guys pull everything. I mean, you talk about their income. I wrote this down so that I wouldn't forget.
Okay.
But the income, they do an app. What do they actually do? They physically need to bring anything with them, or just?
No, everything's automated. When they do the application, it'll give them the opportunity to upload things like bank statements and pay stubs and W-2s and tax returns. And those aren't even things that we necessarily need immediately. But you do have the option to just upload them on a portal. Don't have to bring any paperwork to the first meeting.
Oh, that's nice. So do they need their driver's license?
No, I'm not personally pulling credit here in the office. All I'm doing is directing them to a link to fill it out, and they do their verifications themselves.
Awesome. Awesome. So let's get to what the cost is for this program, because, most things in life are not free.
Agreed.
But why don't you share with us, what does it cost for somebody to participate in this program?
So to enroll in the Home Buyers Club, there is a one-time fee of $39.95, and that isn't even a fee that is goes towards
$39.95.
$39.95.
Yeah.
That fee isn't paying for the actual credit repair or the advice. It actually pays for a homebuyer education course. And it's the same homebuyer education course that someone would have to take if they intended to apply for any type of grant or down payment assistance. So it actually kind of kills two birds with one stone. You take the course one time. It covers you for the Homebuyers Club, but it also covers the homebuyer education that you would need to take if you were doing any type of grant or down payment assistance.
That's awesome. So by paying that $39.95, and for you guys who joined and saw the free, you're going to find out what we're doing in order to assist our contacts and people who are coming to the program with that. But really, if you were paying the $39.95 outright, like Kristy said, Now you can not only be where you're approved for a home, but then you're also approved to get more money to help you with the purchase of that home. Correct?
Yes.
Yes, that's awesome. So let's talk about the fact too, that what can you guys specifically do at DR Horton that kind of partners with this program with the people that come to you?
So if somebody enrolls in the Home Buyers Club and our representative there and the loan officer there gives us the indication that they'll be ready to close within 6 months, we can actually start the build process for them, and they can work on improving their credit scores while we're in the process of building the home.
So you guys will start building their home when their score is 400 and something, as long as they are shown that they can get that score up within the time frame it takes to build that home?
So typically we need to be in the mid fives to actually start the contract process.
Okay.
But
Okay.
even if they are at the fours, we'll work with them to get them up to those fives of where we need to start.
Okay.
And as long as the credit simulator shows that within that 6 month build time, that the scores will be in line in time for closing and they're committed to the plan, then we will go ahead and start that build process for them.
Okay. So that's still pretty awesome.
It is. Yes,
You
it
know?
is.
'Cause you guys are,
Opportunity that we have here.
yeah. And so you've literally had people who've come to you, and not everybody's is low necessarily. Sometimes your credit score may not be low, but it may be just, you might have some things on there that are still keeping you from the financing, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I've had many situations where I took a client whose credit scores were just fine. They already qualified for a loan product, but they wanted a better loan product or a better interest rate or wanted to be able to eliminate paying private mortgage insurance. And we helped them the same way during the course of the process of increasing their scores to not just get an approval, but to get an approval for a better product.
That's amazing. And I know you guys have been offering some unbelievable fixed rates. I'm not going to mention the rates on here because you never know, it could change tomorrow. But if that's something, if you already have great credit and you're thinking of building a home, talk to Kristy, because the last time I saw the rate, I was like, wow, that is lowest rate I've seen in a long time. So you what?
It's historical lows.
It is. It is just crazy, crazy low. So I know there's people that are on here now are going to watch this later, and they're going to be wondering how they can take advantage of this program. And so why don't we share now the best way for people to get in contact with you and me and our team and what we're doing, kind of our little package that we're offering people. And I guess I should go ahead and share that real quick. So MRP, Mainstream Realty Pros, what we're doing is we are offering for people that decide to go through this program, when they become part of the Home Buyers Club, they do have to pay the $39.95 up front. But once they successfully complete that and they are in contract and build a home, MRP will be reimbursing that fee back to them. And in addition to that, when you use our special promo code, which I'll share here in just a minute, you will also get $500 credit towards your appliance package with DR Horton. Or if you decide not to get their appliances, we will give you a gift card to whatever place that you want to buy your appliances from. So that's kind of a special that we are running with them just to get the word out about this program. So if that's something, you know, so yes, it's great to have the credit repair. This is just a little bit of extra that just gives them a little something for successfully doing that, right? And that also will be available to anyone, whether you need to go through the credit repair or not. I should make that clear. So any person that goes to Kristy and uses our promo code, whether you use the credit repair or not, will have access to that promo. So Kristy, what's the best way, if somebody is wanting to know more about this, share what's best way for them to get in contact with us.
Sure. What I always like to do is have you start a group text and introduce them to me. And that way we can coordinate schedules, and we'll always use that same text thread with any communication so that everybody is privy to the conversation.
I love that. So simple. So I'm going to add my cell phone in here, and tell you guys where you would send that text to. There, hopefully that posts up on Facebook. If not, I will do it when we're done. But yeah, so just text me and say, hey, I would like to be a part or know more about that program. And I think it's important to also note this. If you're just not sure, it costs you nothing to just sit down with Kristy and meet with her and take, how long does the whole appointment take, Kristy?
30 minutes. And you're absolutely right. The consultation is free. There's no obligation. If you give me 30 minutes of your time, I will absolutely get you started down the path, help you identify what price range of home you qualify for, and get you a link to complete the application and get a copy of your credit report back to get the process started.
And what if, I know some people are probably thinking this because I know I asked you this. What if they decide not to build with you? What happens?
That's okay. They can still utilize the Home Buyers Club to get their pre-approval in place no matter what they buy. It doesn't have to be a DR Horton property. It could be a different builder. It could be a home on the existing market. Could be a condo. It doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah, I love that. And so you guys, and you specifically as well, you guys are putting yourself out there saying you're just willing to be helpful to anyone.
Yes.
I love that. That's just something we don't see enough of nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're willing to take your time and invest it into people, whether they end up being your client or not. And that aligns so much with our philosophy here at Mainstream as well, which is why I invited you on to do this, because we are very aligned in how we treat customers and what we want to do and how we treat our clients. Yeah, and I really enjoyed having you on. So I think that's it. I don't know if anybody has questions. I haven't seen any questions pop up. Thank you, Julie, Missy, Michael. Thank you, Mike Miner. I appreciate you. Yes, it is awesome. Missy Louie is one of the agents here at Mainstream, and she's actually had, I think she's had somebody in there with you before. That's awesome. And I know I had a few friends that were going to be looking at this later. So this will be available. It'll be posted up as long as I can let it be posted up. So I don't have anything else. Kristy, did you have anything else you want to share that maybe we didn't touch on or something you'd like us to know?
I just want to encourage people to not be afraid to take the first step. To get where you're going, you have to know where you're at right now. So just by scheduling the first appointment, you'll identify exactly where you're at, and there's no time frame. The time frame is dictated by you. So there's no pressure. It can happen at whatever pace you're comfortable with.
I love that. So you're leaving them just like a good mama would with some encouragement. Yeah. I call myself the broker mama. Because I just like to, I'm always like encouraging and keeping my agents encouraged and myself as well. But I love that you have that same heart. Like, you guys, hope is not lost, right? Like there is always an answer. There's always a way. It's about getting aligned with the right people at the right time even, and making that first step. And that's what Kristy's saying is don't delay. Don't think of 5 different excuses why you shouldn't do it or why it's not for you, or those voices in your head that tell you those things. Just do it. Just do it. You can see she's a great gal. She's not going to judge you. She's not going to sit there and, you know, when people show up to you, you're not going to sit there and tell them you shouldn't have did this or you shouldn't have did that, right? You're just going to, yeah.
My goal is always to show you how to fix it.
Exactly. Well, that's it for today, guys. I appreciate all of you guys who've jumped on. Kristy, thank you so much. I know you are super busy. You guys have been just nailing it, blowing it out of the water here the past month or so. I think this everybody's just been coming and building homes here. But I appreciate you taking the time with me and both of us doing our first Facebook Live today. Hopefully this will be the first of many. Hopefully everybody found it informative. And if you guys have anything else you'd like us to discuss, whether it's me or Kristy, just put it in the comments or message me. I would love to provide you guys answers to questions that you have that are relevant. So thank you so much for tuning in today. Thanks, Kristy.
Thank you. Bye-bye.